It's your boy Billionaire Lee, aka Filthy Billionaire Leon, whoever you know me as. It's your boy. You feel me? Welcome to the YouTube channel. Nah, I mean, everything is gonna be housed in this location going forward. And without further ado, let's get it. Now, first and foremost, before we get started, I hope that this video reaches everyone. Now, I mean, great health, great success, happiness, joy, peace, positivity, abundance, all of that. I wish it for all of y'all. You feel me? So take all that, take that, take that, take that. You feel me? But yeah, pray and go get it. Pray and go get it. Yeah. Pray and go get it. Yeah. Yo, that's been my motto, man. That's been my motto. It's been my motto. Yo, before we get started again, you know what I mean? I gotta get my disclaimers. You feel me? I gotta get my disclaimers and just put it out there for people. Like, yo, I have nothing against anybody. You know, your boy Leon, Billionaire Lee, I love everybody. It don't matter what your background is. You feel me? Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, I mean, Catholic, you feel me? Hindu, whatever you classify as, religion wise. Hey, I got love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you. The only way we gonna disagree and we ain't gonna see eye to eye is if you saying that you atheist or some shit like that. I can't rock with you. Yeah, I mean, because if you could look outside and you could see the trees blowing, or if you are fortunate enough to be near the ocean and you see the waves crashing and you see the dolphins and the fish swimming around and jumping in the air and all that, if you are able to take these deep breaths, you know what I mean, and your heart is beating, your brain is thinking, you know what I mean, your bones is moving, your joints and all of these different things, the way your body is designed. If you can sit here and say that you don't believe in a higher power, God, you know what I mean, the universe, I can't rock with you. You feel me? Because it don't make sense. But to each his own. But yo, pray and go get it. Pray and go get it. Let's start with me, right? Let's start with me. I always was a person who used to live this life fearful, scared of just different things. You feel me? And it was because of the foundation that I'm built on. You feel me? My foundation is Christianity. I feel like everybody has to have a solid foundation, which is the reason why I'm a firm believer of it doesn't matter what your religion is. You have to use that as the starting point, the basic building block to be able to use as a stepping stone to elevate to a high level of consciousness in this thing that we call life. That's our purpose. That's our purpose. That's our mission. That's why we're here. We're here to elevate. We're here to learn. We're here to move and ascend to the next level. Unfortunately, some people get stuck at the ground floor, but that's why you in this joint with me right now, because we're going to make sure that we get it popping. But pray and go get it. Foundation. Let's get back on track. I used to be fearful. I used to be fearful. I used to be scared. I used to be walking around here like, damn, am I living life the right way? Because when you go to church on Sundays and you're reading the Bible and you're listening to the pastor, the preacher, and all of these church going people, they instill that fear in you, you know? Because if you are out here doing the wrong things, you don't want to subject yourself to eternity in hell. You feel me? You don't want to be there. So me as a child, that was something that used to always plague my mind. You know what I mean? Fear of the unknown. Scared of the hereafter. You know, life after death. Damn. Eternity in hell. Who want that? It's so many different things that you have to make sure that you're living life by. So many codes, so many rules that you got to make sure that you're following in this thing called life. If you have sex out of wedlock, damn, going to hell. You're stealing, you're going to hell. You're cursing, you're going to hell. All of these different things. You know what I mean? It's like you're walking on this tightrope. And as you're walking on this tightrope, it's like you have no room for error. You know what I mean? No room for it. So imagine as a child having this instilled in you. Boy, I see why anxiety and all this shit is at an all-time high, because it's like, yo, you're battling your mind. You know what I mean? It's you versus your mind at that point. But that's how it was for me. Don't question the word. Don't question the pastor. I used to always have questions. Could never ask though, because I would always get chastised and told, don't say that. You say that, it's bad. You question the word, guess what? You're going to, what, hell again? Hell, ah, shit, hell, damn. I don't want to go there. But as a kid, I always had questions. Naturally inquisitive. Always wanted to know. Even as an adult, I'm still the same way. You feel me? You can't just tell me any old shit and think that I'm just gonna rock with it and just be like, I'm gonna do some research. I gotta figure it out. I gotta test the theory. So as a child, I'm sitting here, and one of the first lines in the book, in the Bible, one of the punch lines, I should say, it ain't the first line, but one of the punch lines that stood out to me was, let us create man in our image. I was like, what? Let us? Who is us? And who is our? And whose image are we based off of? Let us create man in our image. Now, you don't have to be an English scholar to understand us and our. You feel me? Obviously, it's more than one person, ain't it? It didn't say my, you know what I'm saying? Us, our. That's the way I took it. So I'm like, damn, I look like somebody. That was strange. That was one of the points that was strange to me. And I had questions about it, naturally, you know? Some people just go through and they read the information and they just like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna go with it because, you know, they told you to go with it. But I always had questions. Let us create man in our image. So obviously I look like somebody. I look like the creator, right? Know what I mean? Your mother and your father, you know what I mean? They made you, they made me. So obviously I look like both of them, right? So that's how I'm taking the information that's being received. So, plural. Let us create God in our image. Plural. Okay? Oh, I said God. Let us create man in our image. I'm getting ahead of myself. That was the first part that stood out to me. One of the main things that gets me even to this day is I used to always think that the Bible, right? It was the beginning point of all creation, right? I used to always think that. And maybe I was just naive as a kid, you know what I mean? And even as an adult, because I didn't even come to this level of consciousness until like later on in my adult life. But I'm like, damn. And you would think that life started, 2,000 years ago. But it's been factually proven, scientifically. I'm all about the facts. It's been factually proven that people have been living, walking, doing shit on Earth for not thousands of years, but millions of years. So now, the light bulbs is just going off, right? I'm just like, yo, this shit is mind blowing. It's fucking mind blowing. People ain't been here for thousands of years. People been here for millions of years. Clear distinction, clear contradiction. Why would they make it seem as if life just started right here? For what purpose? For what reason? These is questions that I've had. What was the purpose of using this timeline as the starting point? Who knows? But I digress. So, more questions pop into my mind after understanding these things. First and foremost, I'm created, or let us create man in our image. The Bible dates back thousands of years, but yet people have been alive and doing shit for millions of years. So, I'm like, if people have been living for millions of years, and even before I even thought of the millions of years theory and concept, I used to ask myself, because I used to I think all of the time, you know, when you go back to like the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1500s, the 1400s, and so on and so forth. And even, you know, when you get into the AD and BC time frame, I'm like, yo, there was a lot of people. Even if you use that timeline, even if you use that 1,000-year timeline, or 2,000-year timeline, there have been many people that have lived and died on Earth. So it begs the question, right? And I know that some people say, hey, you can't take this, you know, as a physical place, but what else can you take it as? But if so many people have lived and died on Earth, you mean to tell me that there's just billions of people, trillions, honestly, it's probably more than trillions. All of these people are either stuck in these two spots, either heaven or hell. This shit wasn't making no sense. It's not making no sense. Millions of years, right? Millions of years. People been here for millions of years, not thousands, millions of years. These is all questions and thoughts that's just popping in my head as a adolescent, and more so as an adult. Millions of years, right? So I'm like, damn. I've never understood how people could fit in these two locations, but then certain shit just started clicking, right? Started making more sense to me. So I'm like, okay. They put it in your face in cartoons and all of these other little books and things like that. But as a kid, you just watching it, you singing along, like Lion King, for example, right? You singing along to the songs, and all that other shit. But specifically, the circle of life, right? The circle of life. That ain't stood out. That ain't staying out to me until I got older. And I was like, damn, the circle of life. Like, damn, man, what the fuck is that? Mufasa told Simba that the antelope eat the grass. And then when we die, and then no matter of fact, the antelope eat the grass. The lions eat the antelope. But when the lions die, they become the grass that the antelope eats. So it just continuously goes in this circle, right? So it got me to thinking. I'm like, damn, the circle of life, that shit makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just how it works. Certain shit just started clicking in, right? Because I never understood why when some people pass away, you have people who, of course, are mourning, you know, at the funeral services, and, you know, it's a sad time. But I never quite understood why other people are in a celebratory state. They're having parties, they dancing in the street with the coffins and shit. And I'm like, the fuck is that about? How you happy? How you happy? So, you know, I had a good homeboy, a good friend of mine from New Orleans. He broke it down to me. And he told me something simple. He was like, yo, this ain't the stopping point. You feel me? This ain't it. You go, you live this life, you do the things that you're supposed to do here, and if you do the good things that you're supposed to do, you move on into a more positive state when you come back. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying to me? That's going against everything that I was told, that I was brought up on. You know what I mean? But they was like, yo, this ain't it. You come back. You feel me? And you do this shit all over again. And I'm like, what? So they excited because they like, yo, this person that passed away, they were such a great person. They always did good things by people. They always made sure people were good. They always gave. They always acted out of love and kindness, positivity, peaceful person. So they were excited that this person was coming back better than how they were when they left. And I was like, oh shit. Shit just started firing off in my brain again. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yo, love, positivity, doing things the right way. That's one of the main focal points in Christianity, right? Love. Jesus is all love. I had to explore. I had to go to a whole nother set, right? Because it's like, all right, cool. This is my foundation. I was brought up like this, right? You feel me? Christianity was the foundation. You know what I mean? I know pretty much everything that I need to know as it pertains to this way of living. But then you start doing research and you start finding out that Christianity is the baby of the religions. And it goes back to what I was saying before about the timelines. And why was it that the timeline just started right there? Thousands of years when shit was going on for millions of years. And Christianity is the baby. Out of all of the religions, this is the newest one. It's the new trend. So I'm like, oh shit. If this is the new one, let me go ahead and jump off and see what everybody else doing. Not to say that I left it, because it's the foundation. But we here to be able to learn, to grow, to elevate, to ascend, to get to the next level. So I said, all right, bet. Let me step off. Let me tap into Islam. You feel me? Because I feel like that connects more to me. As I look at my skin color and I look how I look, it looks like the people that practice Islam look more like me. So let me see what it's about. Started reading the Quran. I got it in there. The Holy Quran. Astonished. You feel me? I'm astonished because similarly, the Prophet Muhammad's storyline is kind of similar to that of Jesus. I'm like, okay. Both of these cats is like one and the same. Jesus, what would Jesus do? WWJD. Love, peace, positivity. Prophet Muhammad, same thing. Love, peace, positivity. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Buddha. Because after I started learning about these two, I was like, let me take a look at the next set. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and copy me a Tripitaka, which is the Buddhism, version of the Bible. Buddha carried himself the same way. Love, peace, positivity. I'm like, oh, shit. It's a common trend with all of these religions. Now, I mean, it's a common trend. And when you really just wake up and you understand that trend and you start piecing the clues together that was left in a lot of these books. In the Bible, they tell you, what would Jesus do? Carry yourself as Jesus, right? There's been a lot of pages in the Bible that was removed, a lot of stories, a lot of books that was taken out. Why is there so many different versions? You got the Old Testament, you got the New Testament, you got the King James Version, you got the NJV version, you got all of these different versions. Now, they would tell you that it was changed to reflect the speech or the language of the modern day times. But is that really the case? Because if that was the case, why did they take out so many other books? Like the Book of Enoch. And that's just one book in the whole Apocrypha that was taken out. Why did they take certain things out of this book and just leave certain pieces in? Sounds like it's some shit that's being covered up and people don't want you tapping in to your true potential. But hey, we'll get there in a little bit. So, damn. Universal language across all religions, from what I've been able to see. Love. Operate in love. Do to those what you would want done to yourself. God made us in his image, right? So it's like, oh, okay. Jesus turned water into wine, walked on water, all these different things. The story, the focal point of this whole thing is you have that same ability. Got the same ability. Because let us create man in our image. Were they not the same ones that created Jesus, Buddha, the Prophet Muhammad? Were they not? So what makes them different than us? Whew. Now we touching on something here. These are things that always was on my mind, right? I started to get more excited. That anxiety, that anxious feeling, as far as like, just nervous about like death and nervous about all of these different things. Once you start tapping into the other side, you start feeling a little bit more powerful. You like, oh, okay. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. And that's okay. So now you're moving a little bit differently. You start understanding things a little bit differently. You ever wonder why is it that Jesus' life is picked up as straight adult? You know what I mean? As the adult age. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was, walking on water and doing his miracles and stuff like that. Why is it that they don't tell you about the beginning part? Why was the transition left out entirely from the Bible? When Jesus went and got his study on in Egypt and learned the things that he learned to be able to get him to the point that he was at. That's why all of these different quotes that be out there, knowledge is power, and my people shall perish due to lack of knowledge. Why you think all of these different sayings is everywhere? Why you think that? See, before I knew all of this shit, before I came to this level of consciousness, I read this shit and I'm like, damn, you know what? This is just regular words that you hear all of the time. They even put it into a quote in the army. Be all that you can be. And you don't think nothing of it until you tap in. Until you turn that frequency a little bit and you connect to those that created you. Then you hearing things a little bit differently. You seeing things a little bit differently. Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm understanding more Jesus went and got his study on. He learned the way of life. He learned these things. And he would even he even told the people, I am not my Father. I'm not the Father. But get to the Father by way of me. They rewrit the shit and pimped everybody out to think that, yo, I gotta go through this way in order to get there. I gotta go through this way. No. He's saying, do as I do. Follow my ways. Because you too can do it too. Woo. Then I started getting into the spiritual realm. You feel me? Because I stumbled across a book called How to Make a Negro a Christian. I don't know if y'all never heard of that book. But if you never heard of it, you should take a look at it. Look on Google. And if you could buy it, definitely buy it. Because it's an interesting read. And it's very, very enlightening. But let's take it back to what I was saying at the beginning, right? People have been here for millions of years. Christianity is one of the baby religions that had just started. So what the hell were people doing for millions of years before certain things started getting introduced? Mind you, all of this technology that we enjoy today, that we see today, that we experience today, you would think that it was just somehow created in this century or during this lifespan or this timeline. No. That's why certain things are off limits to you and I, people like us. You can't go to Egypt and go below those pyramids to learn the things that the other prophets learned, Jesus, Muhammad, etc. You can't go there. They ain't letting you down there. Let's take it back closer to home. Arizona, the Grand Canyons. That's a really spiritual, symbolic place. But they're not gonna let you go down to where the hieroglyphs and the inscriptions are on the stones to where you can see it. They're not gonna let you see that. They got it blocked off to you and I. You can't see that. But it's there. This shit has been going on. Wi-Fi, using the electromagnetic grid to power, the world and have electricity and all this other shit, flight. All of these things have already been done. But they pimped your ass out and brainwashed you. Brainwashed all of us to believing that, the timeline only started right here. And that you are just a small speck and have no power in how your life goes. That's the crazy shit. This is where the shit is gonna start getting interesting. Because everybody would always ask me, Leon, what do you believe in? It's funny, right? It's funny when your own family look at you and think that you just kind of went astray. Like you just out here just like, running amok. And you just, you're on the wrong side of the fence. It's funny. It's sad, but it's funny at the same time because it's like, who told you the information that you know? Who told you that? And then who told them that? It's like the game of telephone, right? Telephone. Anybody ever played that as a kid where, it's like your whole class, 25 students, and the teacher give the first student the message and they have to whisper it into the next person's ear, the next person. Once it gets to the end, that message that the teacher gave the first kid is all the way fucked up. It's not even what the hell they said. This shit is like a game of telephone. This whole religion thing is a game of telephone. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's a great thing because you got to have that foundation. You feel me? You got to have that stepping stone because you have to have a set of moral codes to live life off of. But it's a stepping stone. You got to use that to get yourself to the next level because they're not telling you the rest of the shit that you need to know to be able to get you where you need to be. Instead, people are gatekeeping that information and using it for themselves. and creating that division and creating that internal sense of envy that a lot of people have for people who are in positions that they wish to attain. So you sit back and now you're envious and you're like, oh, look at that person, got that house, millions of dollars, billions of dollars, be able to do all these different things. You have that same ability to do it. It's just that somebody told them a different story than what was told to you. How to turn a Negro into a Christian. It's mind blowing. It's baffling. It's baffling. But people will tell me, my own relatives, my own grandmother, right? She said, she asked my wife, my fiance. She said, "Yo, do you believe in what he believes in?" Like, I believe in some craziness out here, and I was just like, "Whoa, what do I believe in? Tell me something about me that I don't know, because I'm interested." Nobody knows, even though I'm very articulate and I'm good at expressing what it is that's on my mind. People still act like they're confused. Shit's been happening. People been living. People been doing things out here. They intentionally rewrit the book. Not even just the Bible. It's a lot of revised copies of the Quran, the Torah, the Tripitaka. They rewrote a lot of different things in a lot of these religious texts because people get wealthy off the ignorance of others. Now, once you come to the understanding and the awareness and the consciousness to know that money isn't even real to begin with, this paper shit that we moving around ain't even the real money, it begs the ashes, it begs the, or it creates the question rather, why is it that people just don't want to disclose all of the info? Because it's enough to go around for everybody, but you got certain people who just want to stay at the top of the totem pole for some reason. Because if I can enslave you mentally, you and your entire family, your entire bloodline will be slaves for the rest of you all's life. There's more money in that. Because if everybody believed, or it's like superpowers, right? Take Marvel or take DC. All of these fictional characters, you know what I mean, that's in these stories. You got the good guys and then you got the bad guys, but they all have powers, right? Imagine what life would be like if everybody knew that they had a superpower, this specific superpower. You know what life would be like? The shit would be crazy. It'd be just like the Avengers. It'd be just like goddamn the Justice League. It'd be just like all of that shit because everybody would be out here acting however they're acting based off of the gifts that they have. But that's why I said that it's good to have that foundation, because you have to have that set of moral codes. You have to have it. It has to be there. All of these different things. All of these different things, man. All these different things is things that's just registering and running through my mind. And I'm like, whoa. They really trying to get us, they trying to keep us down out here. Everything, it's been a lie. It's been a bunch of bullshit. And when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's like, damn, you know what? I can't even be mad at the motherfuckers. I can't even be mad. You played a great game because you made sure to keep everybody in the dark, and you made sure that your bloodline stays where they are. That was a hell of a move, hell of a game that you played. But people are so stuck and glued into this way of thinking that was passed down to them by the telephone, that telephone game that I was telling you about, this distorted ass information that was passed down. It's crazy. You got people out here faithfully in church every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, praying, praying, praying hard. You feel me? Praying hard for things and waiting, waiting, waiting. And this is where the conversation takes a turn, because now it touches a part of me that gets me a little bit angry. Praying and waiting, right? You got the old lady who is behind on her rent, going through all of these health problems, spending and gathering the last little bit of money that she can gather up to provide and throw in the tithes, to tithe, but ain't got nothing. But she got that hope and praying and waiting that something is gonna magically just happen for her without doing nothing. Meanwhile, the person who's collecting the tithes and the offering and all these different things, who's utilizing that money is the question. And this is where it gets frustrating, because everybody tries to put an explanation on why it's important to give this money. Why is it that the people who's collecting the money, why is it that they're not giving the money back or giving the money out to those that need it? Why are they collecting it? Yeah, it costs money to keep the lights on and all of these different things like that. But why is it that the money's not even being provided back? Why is it that the information is not being disclosed to people to be able to get them where they need to be? And then you got people that's coming out and telling folks the real, the true angels in human form that's really trying to put the information out there to let people know, like, yo, pray, yes. But prayer, let me tell you what prayer is. You got to be in tune with the Most High. You got to be in tune with the Most High. And I'm going to tell you a cheat code real quick, because they say that the texts were rewritten to be able to provide a common understanding to the modern days and the modern language that we're in right now. But you're not even calling God by the right name. Do you understand that? You're not calling the Creator by the right name. You're not even saying it right. Think about it. Even Jesus. Jesus is not the figure's name. It's not. J, the letter J wasn't even a thing back then. Who is it that you're praying to? And I'm going to get biblical, right? Because they said that the devil is going to deceive the whole world. The whole world, right? Deception. Deceive the whole world. So think about it. You're not even calling God by the right name. It's Yahweh. Not God, it's Yahweh. Jesus is not Jesus. It's Yeshua. But you're saying Jesus, and you're saying God. And when you do your Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which it stands one nation under God, indivisible, who are you praying to is the question. My name is Leon. If I go walking down the street and somebody's screaming out, Eric, 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 I'm not listening to that shit. I probably look like, the fuck is he talking to? He ain't talking to me, and I'm gonna keep it moving. Because I'm a mind my goddamn business. You don't know me? Who the fuck is Eric? I hope Eric answers you. Yo, Leon. Now you got my attention. Yo, what's up? You know me? What's good? What you need? Oh, yo. I broke down over here. You know what I'm saying? You can come help me. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Let me come help you out. Y'all are calling out to somebody, waiting on, these things to come to you. But it's not happening because maybe you're calling on the wrong person. Maybe you're calling on the wrong person. That's going to start some shit. Because everybody that was, that's still on that ground level, They get mad when you start going against the grain. They start telling you certain things. Oh, like, come on, man. You got to get to the next level. My people shall perish due to lack of knowledge. Y'all want to talk about the rapture? It's 2025, allegedly. People been here for millions of years. Life been going on for millions of years. When did this rapture happen? Wouldn't you think that it would have happened already, given all of the fucked up events that happened in life? Think about your life, your timeline that you know of. They done dropped the Hiroshima bomb on Japan, blew up all them motherfuckers. My people been getting brutalized for the past 400 plus years. And still, nobody ain't come through the clouds yet. The Holocaust destroyed all of them quote unquote alleged Jews. You feel me? Why didn't nobody come? Because you have to save yourself. Ooh, they ain't gonna like that one. You gotta save yourself. Billionaire Leon, how you save yourself? Well, let's talk about it. Let's really dig deep into the shit. Because I get mad when people get out here and they say, oh, you know what? I'm going through all of these things. Oh, just pray about it and something's gonna happen. No, educate yourself. You got the people that's out here. Take, for example, the people that's going through cancer and all of these things. They're not gonna give you the cure. They're going to put all that bullshit in you to keep you sick because that shit is pricey. That's expensive. They're going to keep tapping into your insurance, that insurance vein, and they're going to keep getting that money and they're going to poison you in the process. Whereas it was already written. It's already been information out there. All of the food that we eating is fucked up foods. You want to heal yourself, you want to heal your body, you want to eliminate the diseases and all of that. The information is out there, but what? My people shall perish due to lack of knowledge. Fast. All religions fast. Do you even understand what it's for? People sit here and say, oh, it's to get me closer to God and it's to get me all these. It's to reset your whole body because your body needs a break from all of the bullshit, the toxins, the chemicals, all of the shit that you keep shoving in it. That's what a fast is for. Get all of that shit out your body. You supposed to eat things that come from a seed. All of these seedless fruits and vegetables that these motherfuckers is creating and all this goddamn bioengineered ingredients and all, you're not supposed to be eating none of that shit. But if you have been eating it, that's what's attributed to your illness. They'll tell you, yo, if you're going through cancer, put all this chemo in you. But Dr. Sebi already told you. He already told you what to do. There's books out there that's telling you the herbs. And the herbs is not hidden. They're there. You just don't know about it. Take dandelions, for example. How many of y'all walk on the street? So I go for walks. When I go for walks, I see dandelions growing everywhere. They say that it's weeds and they got shit in the store to kill those shits. But did you know you could use that shit to make a tea and that shit'll cure a lot of shit that's going on with you? Yo, it's information out there. If you're going through all of these diseases, whether it's diabetes, STDs, heart problems, goddamn gout, whatever it is, all of these things can be corrected by changing what you consume. Go on a 12-month or 6 to 12-month vegan diet. Cleanse yourself. Fast. Go on a juice fast. Go on a water fast. 30 days. Reset your body. Because you're getting killed and they're getting paid off of your ignorance. Do you not understand that? This whole shit, the whole game is pimped and rigged. And the losers are you. The losers is the people who don't understand. The losers is the people who's praying and waiting. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And the crazy part is the people that's telling you all of these things are gonna happen, they're the motherfuckers that wrote the book. They're the ones that revised it to say all of these things. So when you sit back and you're like, oh my God, it's prophecy. It's prophesized. If I wrote a book, right? If I wrote a book Leon Smith, and I'm in the process of writing many books right now. Anyway, but if I write my book, of course I know what the fucking ending is. I know what the ending is because I wrote it. The shit has been revised. So when y'all sitting here and y'all like, oh my God, all of these things are happening. Oh my God, they said it was gonna be earthquakes and they said it was gonna be storms and they said it was gonna be. They wrote the shit. They wrote it. They're fucking with the weather. They're blowing up shit underground to make these motherfucking earthquakes and shit happen. What? Come on, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. You gotta become in tune. You gotta become enlightened, baby. All that praying and waiting shit is crazy. You gotta connect with God on a different level. You gotta get back in your spiritual bag. Because before they started introducing all these different religions and all these different things, it was a way that people was operating out here. You feel me? The Most High, Yahweh, or God, or the universe, or whatever it is that you call it, it's thought. It's thought. You ever turn the knob on the radio and you get all of that static, right? As you turning the knob, as you trying to get to the station that you trying to get to, you hear like shh. Then as you start getting closer to that reception, the message starts coming through a little bit more clearer until you think, and then the message is clear as day. Our minds is off. It's off. And the shit that's taking it off is the information that we're receiving, because people could tell you anything. It's what you're receiving that's messing up, that's providing that interference with your connection to the Most High. The food that we eating, the food that they're creating and you're consuming, is throwing off your reception. That's the reason why you can't connect. But if you get rid of the shit, get rid of all of the crazy shit, it's even in the music. You don't even know the different hertz and the frequencies and the tunes can either have you at a high vibrational state to where you connecting on the same pace with the creator, or you in this low vibrational state where you connecting with the devil. You gotta be mindful of what you're consuming out here. Even people that's closest to you might be attributing to the consumption of the negativity that's keeping you blocked from the creator. But when you tuned in and you tapped in and you connected to that frequency, your thoughts are a little bit different. See, if you know that, okay, cool, I'm supposed to be operating in love and peace and harmony and joy and positivity because that's the language of the universe. Now you start doing things a little bit differently. See, it don't matter what the religion is, that's how they try to provide that separation and that division. They'll say that, oh, it was a Muslim that went through and hijacked and blew up the towers and all this other shit like that. You know what? To each his own. I have my whole other set of beliefs on that, but let's just stay on that for sake of the conversation. It's called yin and yang, people. It's called good and bad, good and evil, duality. Have you ever wondered why God is powerful, right? God is powerful, but yet the devil still exists? Never nobody ever, was it just me that wondered why is it that God just didn't off the devil and that way everything could just be chilling? It's because both are one and the same. Both are one and the same. It's duality, yin and yang. See, we have free will in this life, right? You got those who are good and you got those who are evil. Just how they can say that a Muslim went in and was a terrorist and blew up all of these people. You got people who are Christians who go to events and shoot up all of these people. They go to schools and shoot up, students. They go to churches and shoot up everybody in church. It's the duality. You have to know when you tap into God what's right and what's wrong. You got to watch what you speak. You got to watch what you think. You got to watch how you carry yourself. That's how you operate the way God, Yahweh, the universe, the Most High, Allah, intended. But when you out here just doing all this crazy shit, you got to understand that you got to pay for that. You got to pay for it. And if this is the circle of life and you know that you got to tag yourself back in, you got to know that you're setting the stage for a pretty fucked up situation when you come back and you tag back in. Yeah. You ever look at people and you say, damn, you know what? That's unfortunate. How was that person born that way? Maybe it was based off of something that they did in a previous life, which is the reason why they're back the way that they are. Yeah. What I believe is this. We closing in on an hour, and I got to get back to doing what I got to do. But this is what I believe, right? We all were made from the Creator. He made us in His image. We're not the Creator. We're not the God. But we do have the ability to create like God. So when you sit out here and you speak all of these negative things, and you say how sick you are this and how sick you are that, I'm sick of this person, I'm sick of this job, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of this. Why do you think that your situation, your environment, your life is always filled with sickness? You might be sick of the job, you go to the job and then find out like a couple of days later you're sick, you're physically sick. Your throat might be hurting, your stomach might be hurting, your head. You're physically sick because of the shit that you speak and you believe it so heavily, which is the reason why you're magnetizing it into your life. Law of attraction. But if you speak positive, you believe positive, that manifests. See, everything that we're doing is, you got to think of life as a garden, right? And every little thing that we do, we're planting little seeds. We're just walking around in our garden, skipping around, just throwing seeds all over the garden, unconsciously. But imagine if you take a conscious approach and you understand what it is that you're throwing in your garden. See, it's one thing to go to the store and just put your hand in the shit and grab a whole handful of seeds and just throw that shit everywhere. You don't even know what you're putting in your garden. You might be having all kinds of fucked up shit growing. But it's one thing when you're more purposeful and you're carrying yourself with more intent. And now you're at the store and you know that you want to get strawberry seeds. You know you want to go ahead and get some apple seeds. You know you want to get some orange seeds. You're more purposeful. Now when you're throwing them seeds around, you know what's going to grow as a result of what you're planting. That's why that whole pray and wait stuff, that's why they got y'all like that. Y'all sitting up in here. Y'all even preaching to people. Y'all preaching to people. You got preachers preaching to people. Saying, yo, everything is going to be all right. Just pray, give your money, and pray, oh, thank you, God. For no. Because once you connected, that connection that you create with the Most High, it's unlike anything that you've ever experienced in your whole life. Because your thoughts are way different. It'll start magnetizing different things into your life and you don't even know where it came from. But you got to do the work. If you know, okay, cool, hey, I want to lose weight, for example, you'll start thinking, right? They try to make computers and everything to mirror your brain. You know that, right? But your brain is the most fastest computer ever. Nothing is going to ever compete with it. And the ability for you to send a thought out and to get an answer and for it to come back to you and manifest into your life is so instantaneous. You just got to pay attention. Because everything that's going on in your life right now, wherever you are, you created that. You manifested that. You did it. I know it's easy to blame other people, but you had a part to play in whatever the fuck is going on with you right now. If you lost your job, what did you do to cause your job to get lost? Maybe you stuck around too long and you knew that the writing was already on the wall when you should have got your ass the fuck up out of there. They told you, yo, shit's fucked up. You might want to go somewhere else. You're like, oh, I'm just going to stick around because I love this place. Come on. Yo, they might tell you, yo, you're suffering from diabetes or you're overweight or whatever the case may be. Yo, hey, they told you, yo, eat different. Get your ass up. Go walk. Go exercise, my nigga. Go do something else. Go lift some weights. Do some push-ups. You want to keep throwing them Big Macs back, laying down, ain't got no motion, and then boom, you get hit with the, oh, yo, you got this. Oh, shit. Damn. Like, no, you did it. You did it. Your relationship ain't going the way you want it to go. Yo, what did or you didn't do? You did something. You did something. You did it. So once you realize that you're the focal point. You create it. Good and bad, you create it. Unconsciously or consciously. That's the reason why you got to get conscious. That's the reason why you got to tap in. That's the reason why you got to meditate. Because that's the way you build that connection with the creator. Your thoughts are a little bit different. See, if you want to do better in life, if you want to achieve better, you got to believe better. You feel me? You got to plan. You got to think. You got to be more purposeful. You got to be more intentful. Because in this life, you got the paintbrush. You the artist. You the architect. And you design it exactly how you want it to be. So if you sitting around and you ain't got no motion, you ain't got no motivation, your brain is just, it's like when you turn in the key in the car and that shit just ain't cranking, or you got a little bean in the can and you just shaking that shit around and it's just rattling. Yo, you gotta use your brain, read, train your brain. It's like a muscle. You gotta go out there, you gotta read, practice, do those mental exercises, deep breaths, breathe correctly, meditate. Sit with yourself in silence for at least like 5 minutes if you're just starting off. Clear your thoughts of all of the bullshit. Connect. Just think. Watch your thoughts as they pass and just let them go. Let them be. And then once you're at a place of stillness, that's your moment to connect with the Most High. Have those convos. Have those mental talks. Yo, you know what? I'm not where I want to be. I want to make a certain amount of money. Be specific. Everybody say that they want to be rich, but rich is different to everybody. Be specific. Know how much income you feel like you need in order to do the things that you want to do in this life. So now you're a little bit more intentful, because if you sit there and you just have these vague conversations with God, like, oh God, I just want to be rich. Well, hey, you want to be rich? Well, what type of rich you want to be? Okay, cool. I'll give you an extra $200 on your check. You feel me? Yeah, this ain't what I'm talking. Then you're mad. You're mad because you get what you got. But that's what you asked for. Yo, you know what? I got to make at least $50,000 a month, not a year. Now, it's a whole different type of conversation. Now, the information that you sending off into the universe, to the Most High, you're getting that information back. Now it's like, okay, cool. How do I make $50,000 a year? Now you're going to receive all of that information differently. But the thing is, once you receive the information, you got to get your ass up and you got to do the work. It's not going to just happen. See, that's what people are doing. A lot of people are praying for these things. Like, oh God, man, they sick. And they praying for to get better. And the information is coming through to show them how to get better and what you need to do, but you just ain't doing it. Then you're mad because you're still stuck in the same spot. You got to get your ass up. You got to do some shit. Oh God, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to do all these things, but you ain't willing to do what it takes to get wealthy. All the information would be flooding through to you. You probably be scrolling through Instagram, having these prayers, and gotta put it into your face to where you seeing it, and you'll skip right past the video. Or you looking for a clarity, you looking for some information, right? And you'll skip right past this video because you'll be like, oh man, that nigga just talking for an hour, but I'm dropping gems like a motherfucker in there. And you'll skip past it, wondering why your life is the way that it is. You got to pray, and you got to go get what it is that you're praying for, beloved. Don't wait. The information is out there. Educate yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. They're going to hide information from you in 500 pages of a book. And you're going to read through 500 pages of a book, and you'll probably only find 2 and 3, or maybe 10 if you're lucky, 10 pieces of information that's useful to you out of 500 pages, but you still got to do the work. Because once you educate yourself and you start connecting the dots and you start piecing everything together, yo, what can't you do? What can't you do in this life? That's why this channel is going to be dedicated to everything. We definitely going to be focused more mainly on the financial aspect. But before I hit y'all with the financials, I had to hit y'all with that spiritual joint to let y'all know exactly who I am and where I come from and why it is that I am the way that I am and what I believe in. This is why. Because I'm specific. I'm purposeful. I'm intentful what it is that I asked for. And this is the reason why things get received the way that I receive them. Be grateful. Express gratitude. Be thankful for all of the things that you have right now. See, that's the key. You got to be thankful. Because that's what's going to open up the door for you to receive more. Because God, the universe, Allah, Yahweh, you know what I mean? He's seeing that you're appreciative for what you do have, and it'll flood it in with a whole lot more for you. But yo, we 60 minutes in, and let's get to it. Yo, we creators. You feel me? We're creators. We're responsible. It's up to us. It's up to us. Nobody's coming to save you, beloved. You have to be the one to save yourself. And once you save yourself by way of thinking, then that opens up the door for you to be able to save the ones that you care about, the ones that you love. And then that's when you can go ahead and expand even more to save the ones that you don't even know. You got to give in order to receive. A lot of people think that it's just monetary. Nah. Because the thing that's worth more than money, it's worth more than money, is information. Information. You feel me? Because if you give somebody $1 million, but they're only going to be alive for 10 days, do you think they still care about that $1 million, or do you think they want time? They'll say, fuck that $1 million, they want the time. But what if they had the information, the knowledge to be able to cancel that time frame, to be able to extend their life to wherever they want it to be? That makes the information worth more than the money. So, yo, I gave y'all an hour plus worth of game. I hope that was beneficial for you, because it was beneficial for me. And you know how I do when I do it. But yo, that's my take on it. That's what I believe. We are creators. You feel me? But we do gotta connect to the Most High in order to make things happen. We gotta live life through love, peace, positivity, and doing things the right way. And that's how we create the door for abundance. We gotta believe. We gotta believe. We gotta speak positively, but we gotta believe it. And then not just that, we gotta act on it. And then yo, what can't you do in this life? But yo, it's your boy Els. Appreciate you rocking with me. Oh, my bad. Billionaire Leon, you feel me? It's Filthy Billionaire. Yo, until next time, beloved, y'all stay safe out there. Operate in love, man. And you'll be able to take over and do whatever it is that you want to do in this life. Give back, and you'll get there. Peace out.